When I say, who's the master, you say, no.
What is up, guys? Showing Up the King here, back with another video. So, just got finished watching episode 3 of Megalo Box. I really enjoyed it. It was a solid episode 3. It didn't have the exact excitement and pace as episodes 1 and 2, but this episode did a great job of establishing the world, doing the building that we needed, and kind of introducing us to new characters. It's going to be following JD around. So let's just get into the review. So this episode basically starts off with Pops walking around his old stomping grounds. You can kind of see him going to get JD registered for the Megalo Box tournament, and he actually ends up getting a ranking of 257. So the plan is basically them trying to get JD Joe up in the rankings so that he can get a shot at Yuri. So the plan is over the next 3 months of the Megalo Box tournament is to try to get 5 matches in, and these are going to have to be tough matches that's going to test Joe, but he needs to get the excitement going so that he can escalate himself up in the rankings to get the attention of Yuri. Now, speaking of Yuri, I actually have a prediction here. So there was a scene where JD and Pops were training, and they were kind of talking about Yuri and how Yuri's his Megalo boxing equipment is state of the art. Like I had said in my last video, it's actually integrated with his body. It gives him really strong defensive capabilities. It actually helps him with reaction time. It's basically state of the art, top of the line. And you know, Joe's boxing equipment is basically crap. So, you know, you can even tell by the name of the episode, whereas the name of the episode is called Gear is Dead. So, you know, he needs new armor. He needs new boxing equipment, essentially. So, one of the things that like I said, I think is going to be a strong prediction, and you can kind of see the foreshadowing and the building of this. Is I think Pops, Joe's trainer, used to train Yuri. You kind of saw the look that Yuri gave Pops when they first went to the outskirts to box. So you can tell, obviously, that Pops knows Yuri and what he's about, because when Joe was talking to him about, well, why can't we just get the same kind of boxing equipment that Yuri has, and we should be able to beat him? And Pops already knew, like, look, you're not strong enough to use that kind of equipment. Even if we could afford it, your body couldn't handle it. Only Yuri can handle this kind of stress on his body. So you have to just kind of think, how does Pop know that? Like, how does he know that Yuri is the only person that can kind of handle that that boxing suit? So it's very interesting. I'm not saying I'm 100% sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if we find out later on that maybe that Pops used to train Yuri, and that's kind of how he knows exactly what that guy can handle and what he can't. Just saying. So, you know, like I said, this was a slower paced episode. We did get like a Mike Tyson's Punch Out, what's his name, Little Mac training montage, where, you know, Pops is trying to teach him the counter and teach him how to, you know, to feint and, you know, not to use his left side instinctually. So that was all really good. The other major point of this episode is we get introduced into a new cast of characters, these little street vagabonds, with the leader, his name is Sideshow, I believe. Yes, Sideshow. So Sideshow is another interesting character who is, again, he's a street rat. He steals from money, steals equipment to get candy, and I actually thought this was actually very interesting as well. So he takes this candy back to the shopkeeper, where he fences all the items that he steals. The shopkeeper gives them the red candy. They take the red candy, and it's not exactly candy. It's some sort of mind-altering drug, because you can kind of see when the kids are taking the candy, they're kind of like lethargic, and they're leaning back, and you can kind of see the pupils of their eyes. It was very, very weird. So it'll be kind of interesting to see exactly what the real deal is with this red candy. So again, Sideshow, he actually takes an interest in Joe, and at first you can kind of see like he's like, oh, this guy's a Megalo boxer, I need to kind of. It looked like he was trying to pay attention to him. So there's this prototype boxing suit that was just one level below Yuri's, and again, I have to say, for plot's sake, I get it, but it just seemed to me that it was just a way too convenient that the shop that they go to try to find some equipment for Joe's boxing equipment, they find this experimental boxing suit that they can conveniently get stolen later on in the episode, if you know what I'm saying. So overall, like I said, I thought the episode was pretty good. Like the one thing that's actually going to end up happening next week is Joe's going to have his first match, and it's going to be against Shark Sejama, I believe his name is, and it's AKA the Man Eater. This is going to be his first Megalo boxing match, and the reason why they chose him is because he gathers a lot of attention, but not a lot of boxers want to fight him because he fights dirty, which is right up Joe's lane, because again, he's used to fighting on the ground, so dealing with dirty boxers is nothing out of the ordinary for him. He just needs to get some new gear. And speaking of gear, like I said, the plot convenience armor that he was able to get later on in the episode, it actually broke as he was using it in his fight against the shopkeeper's bodyguard. So what I think is going to end up happening is one or two things. I think either they're going to gather up those pieces and they're going to use those pieces that they gathered with his old boxing equipment to kind of do like a hodgepodge between the two of them. Sideshow, he's going to be the new team member, and he's going to basically be the tech guy. So we have Pops, who's a trainer, we have Joe, who's a boxer, and then we have Sideshow, who's going to be the tech guy, who's going to be able to go in and repair the Megalo unit and make sure everything is in tip-top shape. We also find out that in Sideshow's hat, he had a picture of his family, and again, I'm just saying, it looked like Pops at a younger age was sitting there with Sideshow and his moms. I could be wrong. Again, I hope I'm wrong, because again, that's just too coincidental that Sideshow runs into the person that could be his dad. I don't know. It's just a little weird, but we'll see. Overall, out of a 10, I'm going to give this episode a solid 7. Nothing revolutionary. They opened up the world a little bit. We got a little bit of Yuri in his little training montage. I thought that was actually pretty cool. Him wearing a little face mask and, just kind of training and thinking about Joe in the back of his head, and then going back and training again. So you kind of know he respects Joe, and he can't wait to get into the ring with him again. And just like I can't wait to get into the next episode of Megalo Box. Let me know what you guys think. Comment in the section below. Thumbs up the video, and let's talk some more about Megalo Box. Again, the next video I'll be uploading will be Saturday, and that episode will be about Darling and the Franxx. And boy, oh boy, Darling and the Franxx, man, y'all. I'm actually thinking about doing a live stream. Let me know what you guys think. I'm thinking about doing a live reaction for Darling and the Franxx. So if you guys want to see that, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to do that. We can kind of get the discussion going, because I got to tell you, after that drama we got last week with Ichigo, it's going to be crazy. Showing up the king, the one and only. Have an awesome night, guys.